Baker-Finch, part of the CBS Sports crew, golf analyst, and he won the 1991 Open Championship over at Royal Birkdale, and he is with us here on Tiki Tierney. Ian, how are you, bud?
I'm very well. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Appreciate you coming on. And I said this, and I kind of leave, the nuance of the game to you guys because, like Tiki, I'm a hack. But I did recognize one thing that Johnny Miller said early that resonated with me that ultimately wasn't true, but I wonder if you had the same thought. Stenson's first shot didn't pure it. His second shot didn't pure it. 3 jacks the first green. If you're telling me from there he's going for 10 birdies, it seemed like a great ball striker was off early. Were you surprised that he was able to, so early in the round just, flip a switch and just start crushing and puring the ball again?
Yeah, it was pretty amazing, wasn't it, the way he started, and then basically that may have really relaxed him in thinking, listen, you got to get this job done today. You got a great player there playing alongside you that you've got to beat. You're just going to have to go for it and put the nerves aside for 4 hours and let's get this done. And he just played, well, certainly in my memory, I'm 55 years of age. I've been playing in majors since 1984. That was the most remarkable final round in a major championship I've ever seen, and the greatest duel between two players that would just so far distance themselves from the rest of the field. Just incredible.
Yeah, no, it was incredible, Ian. And when you think about what Henrik Stenson's strengths are, putting wasn't one of them. But with 10 birdies in the final round, what did he do differently this weekend that made him so effective at putting the ball in the back of the cup?
Oh, boy, it's so hard to give a tangible reason. It's just sometimes you have it. Sometimes you drag each other along like they did. They just sort of expected each other to hole each putt and make great shots, and they just both kept doing it. And sometimes, just deep down inside, you say to yourself, hey, I'm just going to keep doing this. And you have days where every putt you look at is going in the cup. You remember there in that second 9, he walked after a couple of long putts, knowing when it was halfway there that he'd hold it. It was, I hate to say it, but it was Tiger-esque, wasn't it? It was, it was like nothing could go wrong. Just incredible stuff.
We're talking to Ian Baker-Finch. Ian played Royal Troon a couple of times, if I'm not mistaken, back in the late 80s and the late 90s as well. He's got the 91 Open Championship at Royal Birkdale on his mantle, so you can never take that away. I made the observation on Friday, just kind of looking ahead here and trying to project, and I use the word if because I know how good Henrik Stenson is, and I thought he would be Phil's chief competition, and ultimately he was. Now, you know this, but for those who might not view the game in the historical or through that kind of a prism, if Phil would have won yesterday, that would have been number 6. He would have been one major away from Bobby Jones and Arnie Palmer and Sarazen and Sam Snead. Can you quantify those names and that chapter, that part of golf lore? Because, boy, you hear those names, you got to stop in your tracks.
Yes, everyone knows that Phil Mickelson is a great player, but I think he goes underrated mainly because for a decade he was playing against Tiger Woods at his best. Had he been in any other decade, I believe Phil Mickelson would have won, 3, 4, 5, maybe more majors. So to have 5 to his credit, he's had 11 seconds now, including 6 seconds at the U.S. Open in major championships. It's an incredible career, over 40 victories on the PGA Tour, many other international victories to his credit as well. So, yeah, he is a player that's been winning since 1992 and keeps himself fit and strong, very smart guy, great competitor. Goes for broke. When he has a chance of winning, he goes for it, which is a great quality. So, yeah, I think he's a way, way underrated champion of this era.
No, he definitely is. But the thing that kind of catches you off guard, if you don't know it, is that he hadn't won on tour since he won the Open Championship in 2013. So as good as he is, it's not translating into wins. This particular tournament, this Open Championship that we just witnessed, is this I don't want to say it's a springboard because he's 46 years old. You know what I mean? So how does he get back into
a springboard to the senior tour?
Well, how does he get back into who he is and who we expect? I mean, sometimes we watch these PGA Tour events and it's like, oh, Phil missed the cut. What the heck is going on?
Well, he's an inspirational player. When he's on and when he's inspired for whatever reason, he plays great. The rest of the time, I think he'd rather be home with Amy and the kids, to be honest. And that happens when you get to that age.
Yeah.
You don't want to be out there all the time. He plays a limited number of events. He's going to play in his 11th Ryder Cup this year, which is just amazing. That's 20 years of Ryder Cups. He just plays equally as good as anyone else in the world at times. He still has that great ability. And as I said, when he has a chance to win, he goes for it. And he putts, like you look at all the great champions, when the going gets tough and they have a chance, they're competing and they've got a chance to win, they putt better, they play better. And when they're uninspired and not competing and not in with a chance to win, it's like, what am I doing here?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think we see that a lot with the guys like Phil, the great champions as they get a bit older. Like Ernie Els. I still think Ernie Els has got a win or two left in him.
Wow.
But at times, he looks like, I'd rather be back home on my boat fishing or doing something else. And I totally understand for these guys that they're not doing it for the money anymore. They're doing it for the wins.
Interesting. Ian, I don't know if you know. I'm sure you noticed this, but maybe kind of lost on some of the fans. Terrific job by NBC picking this up. Mid-round, Phil Mickelson changed his grip on his putter. Did you notice that? And have you ever seen somebody change grips in the final round of a major when you have a chance to win?
Yeah, he went back and forth, and a lot of guys do that when they're.
Oh, okay.
Well, I shouldn't say a lot of guys, but you will notice guys at times. It's all a comfort thing with grips and putting.
Mm-hmm.
People will try something different. They'll be over the putt. And you see Phil, he gets all set, and then he puts his hand in position, down that bottom hand. And a couple of times, I'm sure he just felt comfortable with it where it used to be. But if you notice towards the end, the short putts, he went back to what he'd started with that day. So it wasn't like he just changed it mid-round and kept it there all day. I think he went back and forth a couple of times.
Wow.
It's like Jordan Spieth. Sometimes he looks at the cup, and sometimes he doesn't. And people will say, well, it's always from 6 feet and in or whatever. Well, it's not really. It's actually on putts that are inside the cup. He doesn't look at the hole when it's a putt that breaks 4 or 5 inches, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a set routine. It just may look a little different to us watching on TV. Might be a distance or a style of break.
Last one, it's with Ian Baker-Finch with us here on Tiki and Tierney, CBS Sports Radio.
You talk about Jordan Spieth. It felt like he was the next coming of the greatest golfer we've seen, and it feels like he's finding his game. Where is he at? And in some of those inconsistencies in what he does on a putt-in, putt-out, swing in, swing-out basis, is that what's taking him off where we thought he would be last year?
I believe Jordan Spieth will be around for another couple of decades. He's only 20. Well, what is he? He turns 23 next week, I believe.
Yeah.
So he's still really, really young. And he's learning how to deal with the added media pressure of having been number one in the world for almost all of last year until Jason Day took over. Having to deal with, the issues, the pressures, if you will call it that, of making lots of money and what do I do with it? How do I deal with all this? Dealing with fame. He's getting older. He's probably getting into... personal relationships, etc., that are all different for a young man. So he has to also deal with the loss at the Masters. He's won since then, so he's obviously overcome it, but it's still there. You have things in the back of your mind that play on your mind at certain times. So the main thing is that he still trains hard. He works hard. I know he's coached very well. He's doing everything he's supposed to be doing, and he'll be around a long time. I think we just all expect so much of our great champions that we expect them to do it all the time.
Ian, I'm sure we'll see you out at Baltus Row in a couple of weeks. CBS
Yes,
with
sir.
CBS with the PGA Championship should be fun. Fourth and final major of the year. Appreciate a couple of minutes. I know we'll talk before the event in Jersey.
Thank you very much. I look forward to it. Baltus Roll is a great golf course. It'll be a lot of fun there at the PGA.
Can't wait. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks a lot, guys.